Howdy y'all, Fast Forward 289. Welcome back. In this video, we're going to be working on my 1968 Ford Fairlane 500 Fastback. And we're going to be upgrading the instrument cluster lens, getting rid of that old, dull, dingy, foggy, scratched up, used lens, and putting in a nice, bright, clean, clear, new lens from Autocrafters. As well as also in upgrading to LED lights in the cluster as well to make it brighter and more pronounced. So let's take a look at the parts we got and jump on into it and get started. All right, so we're going to be replacing this lens right here. It's all one piece for this. We'll pull this out. We got to pull this dash pad here out. And to pull these out of these cars, you got screws underneath like that. You got to pull all them out. There should be 6 screws total. And it clips at the top, so it just pulls straight out. And usually there's a screw up in here, one in here, but mine is missing it, so we don't have to worry about it. And we'll pull this out, and then we can get in here to change this lens because it's all foggy and not clear anymore. All right, even though it's hard to see, I want to show before what the dash lights look like. And they don't pick up very good on camera, but they're very dim. Okay, so once you got all the screws out, there's actually 7 screws across the bottom, a total of 9. How you take these dash pads out is you pick up from the bottom first, and then it clips out from the top. And it just pulls straight out. And we'll get this on out of here. All right, once you got the dash out of the way, this is what it'll look like inside here. You see how this lens is all faded, and you could probably polish this lens, but it ain't worth it. I just bought a new one. So we're gonna go through and get this out. We gotta get the instrument cluster out. From the looks of it, you should have 1, 2, 3 screws up here. And then we're gonna have to dive in to see what holds it in the bottom. So. There's some screws down here. Probably got to remove this heat or this light shield to get to the rest of them. Then we got the light shield out of the way. There's 5 screws. These 2. These are alignment dowels to help align it into the dash. So there's no nuts or nothing. And then screw here and 3 across the top. Now this simply should just slide right up out of the way. Now don't forget, you will have a speedometer cable as well as the wires to hook the dash lights and all that up. So we're going to get back here and get our speedometer done. And this is a 68, so 68 had a hex head, which is like a nut, and usually they're only finger tight. But if not, you can get a wrench in here. I believe it is a 3/4, I think. And then that'll come right out just like that. Then we just got to find our plug for all our lights and gauges. So one will be right here. It's a 2-prong wire. It simply just unplugs. It's a simple plug like they did in the 70s. It just unclips like that. All right, so now we're gonna get ready to take this lens off. This is the replacement lens I got from Autocrafters. It's a very nice piece. We'll look at that in just a minute. First thing to know is don't bend this. This is a bunch of, all these lines are a bunch of pieces of brass or copper running through there. Just see, to make a connection, you can see it right there. So don't bend this circuit paper. We have to get this lens off that is held in by clips, which look like this. They're metal clips. If you take some, those pliers and very gently squeeze them together, they'll pop right on out. Be careful not to break them, because they probably sell reproductions, but from what I've seen, they give you screws to go back instead of clips. So we can get our needle on those pliers and come in here and just ever so easily squeeze and push. Just like that. And go around and get all of them out, and then the lens will come off. All right, so quick tip, when you get to the top of this bezel, as you can see, you have this rail in here and you can't get down in there to it. So if it's turned to the side, which this one ain't that bad, you put a little screwdriver in here, you can straighten it up, and then get your needle nose in there to pry it. You do that for this side and this side. We already got this one out. Easy as that. All right, now we're ready to remove the lens. And after you got them clips out, it should just slide right on off. Be careful because you have a piece of metal back here as well. And this is that piece of metal I'm talking about. So be careful not to bend that when you're taking it off. But that can just sit there. And this is the time, if you want to, you can repaint yours if you need to. I'm not going to touch mine because it's fine. I'm going to wipe it down. You can repaint your needles if you want to. Mine still look good. I'm not going to mess with them. But it's your time to clean and do any dressing that you may need to do. And we'll come back after I get ready to install the new lens. All right, now when it comes to cleaning this, you're going to be very delicate. These needles can break. This one is very sensitive. It can bend. So, and also as far as blowing this out, I just go like this to blow them out, because if you put too much pressure back here, you can mess up the electronics. You know, like this. You know, and I don't want to take a chance on it, so you're better off to not use forced air. And then I use a microfiber rag to just gently go through and wipe this. You can move the speedometer cable to get around it, or the speedometer needle, I mean. Don't touch that. You know, it's very sensitive. So just work around it. If you have to, you can get a cotton swab in here if you have to. Just do whatever you got to clean it up. And this piece, this is not very thick metal. This will bend, so lay this on a flat surface before you begin to wipe it, I recommend. Or do any sanding or anything like that. And again, you can just wipe it out, blow it out, do whatever you gotta do. And then we can get ready to put the lens in. All right, so here's the brand new lens. And then here's the original. See how faded and foggy this one is from years of sun damage and just dirt and time. And then this one here is nice and crystal clear. That's gonna make quite a bit of difference on those gauges. So, and then I'm gonna go through, even though it's brand new, I'm gonna clean the inside of this before I put it on, because once it's on there, you can't get back inside it unless you take it back off. And I can use my original clips. I'm going to, because they fit the new one just like the original. No problem. But if you want to use the screws, they do ship you new screws in the package like that you can use to go in here, and they'll tap into these holes. But I'm not going to use them. I'm just going to use a little bit of simple window cleaner. I'm not going to spray it directly on the lens. I'm going to spray it on my rag, and then just gently wipe the inside of it. And after I install it in the car, I'll wipe the outside of it before I put the dash pad back in. Go through very gently, just wipe it and clean it to get any dust or anything like that out of it. Fingerprints. And by all accounts, this is your main focus of area, because that's where the gauges are. Around here, you're not going to see once it's installed. But I'm going to go through and clean everything. And then we'll come back and dry it just like you would anything else. And then we'll get ready to install it on the cluster. Now, when it comes to installing this panel, you can't put it in wrong. It will not go in but one way. See, that don't line up. Nothing about it. It won't even try to go. So it won't line up. So you don't have to worry about putting it in wrong. And also, if you look at it, see how it's angled on one side and flat on the rest? It goes just like this. You have a tab here and on each side for it to set in. So you can't put it in wrong. Same thing with the lens. It is angled on one side and flat on the rest. It's also got the tabs. It will set in there just like that. And I gotta say, for an aftermarket unit, it fits pretty good. No modifying necessary from what I can see. So. And then when it comes to these tabs, you're gonna be very careful. And don't take much pressure. And really, you can start in the center and work your way out. But Line the hole up, give it a little push, and you'll feel it seat down and see it's solid as a rock now. Just like it was before, you can see the lens get pushed down and you know it's in right. I'm gonna go around and do that to the rest of them. Also, another tip, when you're installing these, you might want to install them like this, so then if you ever have to remove this, again, it's easy to take out. Although I'd recommend not removing these clips any more than you have to, because they will break after a while. All right, now it's fully installed, and you can see that's a big difference already, before and after. Let's get it put in the car. All right, so while we got it apart, I'm gonna upgrade to LED lights. And I ordered my lights from a company called Super Bright LEDs. First time I ever tried them. What I'm putting in for the illumination lights are these cool white bulbs, 194 replacement. I ordered green bulbs to go in the turn signals, and then a natural white light for the high beam indicator. It lights up red. It's got a red filter, so it don't really matter. It'll be all right. I'm not gonna worry about the warning lights because they don't get used anyway, so it'll be fine. It don't matter. But all we're gonna do is simply unplug it like so, pull it out, and I did leave the factory blue filters in here, so they will clear with these bulbs. So some bulbs will not clear if you leave the filters in, but these do. And that's a direct fit. We're gonna put it back in the car and try it out. Okay, so I'm also gonna be replacing these bulbs, and this is for the heater and wiper and all that switch. These simply just push in and twist like that. And I got these LEDs, again from Super Bright LEDs, and we're just gonna put them in the hole. All right, it's the ones that have the tabs that are even instead of being offset like some of them are. Twist and do it. Another trick you can do, if you're replacing yours and you don't want to push on the LED element, you can grab the back of the wire and pull on it slightly, take some of the tension off the spring, makes it easier to put the bulb in. You got your dash apart, it's a good time to, let's say, clean anything, straighten anything out. I'm gonna come back in here later and straighten mine out. I did grease my speedometer cable. I use a little bit of petroleum jelly. If you want to see how to do that, I got a video on my channel on how to do that. Plug our wires back in. And make sure when you plug this plastic one in that you don't mess up the circuit paper on the back. Then everything should sit back up in place like it was before. And just put the screws back in. Also, when you put your speedometer cable on, you don't need to put a wrench on it. Hand tight's good enough. All right, we got it installed. Moment of truth. Let's see how it looks. Bam. That is beautiful. That is so much brighter, cleaner, clearer, and it's just so much nicer. Before it was so faded, you couldn't really see the details of the numbers and all that. Now it's nice and clear and clean, and the needles are bright, and that's the original paint. I didn't even repaint the needles. That's original. So, and they shine up like brand new. So that looks great. Everything looks good. I don't know. The only thing is, I don't know why these are more of a green than those. My thought behind it is because they have the same filter, the same color bulb. I used the cool white for both of these, but these have a white lettering to them. So when, like, you're driving around during the day, you can still read what it is, and it's a white lettering. So the white mixed with the blue filter and the cool white of the bulb makes this more of a green, whereas this is just the cool white bulb shining through the blue filter through a clear lens. So that's my only thing about it that I can figure out. This, I'm going to try to figure out a way to crack that open and solder in some different color LED lights. And then I like this color, so I might play around with some natural white bulbs. And if I can't get it quite right, I'll either leave it this color or just put green LEDs in to match those. But I kind of like this color. I might leave it this color. So if I do that, I'll try to match the rest of them to, I'll try to match everything else to match this color. So, but either way, that looks really good. that's kind of what it looks like sitting in the car. So, yeah, I'm very pleased with that. It turned out great. Alrighty, guys, that's it. That turned out great. I wish I could have got more of an in-dash angle. It is hard to work around that kind of stuff and everything. But as you can see in the video, a lot of it's self-explanatory. In 68, actually 67, as far as I know, they started putting plugs for all the instrument clusters, made it real easy. 66 and older, at least in the Mustangs I know, in cars and probably trucks too, you had to unplug every individual bulb, and I mean, it was a mess. If you had unplugged anything, you had to label it to make sure you put it back right. Pain. So at least they got smart and upgraded that in 67, 68 model year. So, and further up, obviously. But, yeah, so it worked out great. It was easy to install. I got to say, Auto Crafters delivered a fantastic product. I'm not sure who makes their lens for them, but they did a great job. Sometimes you get aftermarket parts. If y'all work on classics, you know how it is. Sometimes you got to modify them to fit, and they don't fit quite right. But that one fit right in there. It was a nice, good, tight fit. Everything looked the same. The thicknesses, I didn't get a caliper out and measure it, but because it's not that critical or important. But the thicknesses looked the same, and everything worked perfect. So they delivered a fantastic product, and I highly recommend them if y'all have a 68, 69 Ford Fairlane, Torino. I believe the Cyclones might use the same lens, but I'm not as familiar with those cars, but I think they do. But if you have one of these cars and you need a new lens, I would highly recommend going there and ordering one from them because it turned out great. If y'all have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the drop box down below and I'll get back to you. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. I greatly appreciate that too. And I thank each and every one of y'all each and every day for watching. And I will see y'all on the next one. Take care.